Hi, this is the second video, the part of the Stranger Things series that I'm doing. Still not a review, still the thoughts of the top of my head, still not a breakdown. In the previous video I mentioned that the cast is a problem with this show. On a relative note to that, one of the best things about season 4 is its dialogue. There's a scene in the final episode where Max and Lucas are in a situation where they cannot verbally communicate. And so they communicate using a pen and a notepad. They write words and draw images onto the pads, and it works really well because the dialogue of the scene speaks to the motivations of the characters directly. And the scene is just so wholesome that I thought that it was better than it had any right to be. The jokes are pretty funny. Most of the humor in this show works because it's well written. There is no cringe-inducing jokes in here like in Marvel where one character cracks a lame joke and the other just looks at them like they're fucking clueless and oblivious to how dumb that is. There's another scene where Steve talks about his dreams and future he wants, and it was reflective of his character. Like, I can see Steve being that kind of person, but the way they try to put him back with Nancy is fucking lame and inconsistent to his arc. The main baddie of the show. Oh boy. You know, the villains in Stranger Things so far have been pretty inconsistent. We had this scary and intimidating Demogorgon in season 1, and then we got Mind Flayer, which was only a mystery in season 2, but in season 3 he was turned into a joke and a meaty, goofy monstrosity that couldn't even catch a sloth if it was right under his nose. Anyways, now we have the Vecna. Let's talk about his looks first. He looks scary and goofy at the same time. He has tentacles, which might be an instant turn on for some people, but he is also sort of burnt, almost disfigured, humanoid kind of thingy. A bit like your Demogorgon, but with a face and less squeaking. And yet he has a fucking ridiculous forehead. His head is fucking shiny and it's hard not to take your eyes off of it. I could not stop chuckling when he came on screen for more than half the time. Anyways, he's not really established until episode 7, so you get the impression that maybe he's just another villain that they would cast aside, discard after a season. But boy oh boy, when we get to episode 7, his backstory and past is revealed to us. And man, does he have some past. We get to see him as a child and how he wanted to change the world because he didn't like the way it was, which is fucking silly, but that is not the reason that makes him a great villain. I mean, sure, he's given some vague reasons and explanations for why he does what he does. They even throw a Brenner card in there for good measure, like he suffered at the hands of the evil doctor, and now he wants revenge, baby. But thankfully they ditched that towards the end because it's fucking stupid. But the real reason, what we feel for Vecna is because of his conflict with Eleven. Part of writing a great villain is giving him motivation and ideologies that directly contradict those of the hero. But it's also in that there needs to be some sort of conflict and struggle, like a tension between them or a direct confrontation in the past due to their different points of view. This approach, it sets one of the characters as the underdog and the audience can then relate to it better. And that is exactly what season 4 does. It establishes Vecna as the underdog and it gives him the proper character motivations and reasons for his actions. If Vecna had no connection with Eleven, you would probably not even feel anything for him. He would just be another villain. But now he feels connected and integral to the narrative because of how grounded he is. Moving on, there is a sort of redemption for Dr. Banner in this season. Like, we didn't really care who he was or what he did in season 1 because he was established as a one-dimensional bad guy. I wasn't really excited for his return, but I knew he would still be an integral part of the story. But anyways, in this season they give him some conflicting reasons for his actions, which he believes to be the right course of action. And it works wonders because in his mind, his actions are for the benefit of Eleven and the others. He's doing the greater good. His intentions are good, but he is oblivious to the fact that his actions might be causing some harm in the process. When he is dying, he tries to convince Eleven to see his side of the picture because he genuinely believes Eleven only thinks he is bad because she can't see the bigger picture. Which, maybe she can't, but the actions are still harmful, and so Eleven is right in her perspective not to trust him. Anyways, conclusion is probably the best part about the season. Everyone is back together in Hawkins and they all have a clear direction for the next season. I do have to say they kind of went in a wild direction regarding the story where it's exciting that the stakes are going to be bigger, but also in that it's going to take away the mystery element from the show, which was its main highlight. Anyway, that's just my thoughts, and I may be wrong here, but we'll have to see. Now, one of you guys asked me to tell them why I think they should watch this show. Listen, the whole point of these reviews is to give you an insight into what kind of shows these are, tell you why you should watch or stay away from a certain show. This show is a mystery family drama at its core, and if you like that sort of thing, you should definitely try this. It has sci-fi elements to it, like the premise of the first season is just that a boy gets abducted by a creature from another dimension, and his friends and family go looking for him. So if you're looking for that, then you can watch this. But if you want my personal opinion, I would say you should watch it. It's not half bad. Hello, this is the future me from the editing. If you're watching this video for the first time and you really liked what you saw, then please drop a sub. I'll be reviewing Miss Marvel pretty soon, and then I'm gonna be reviewing some old shows that I really like. And yeah, stick around if you're enjoying yourself. Thank you for listening.